So welcome, welcome everyone. We are super excited to have you here. I'm Eyal Ronen, and I'm here with the one and only Lior Ronen. We resemble one another just by chance. It's a pure accident, and we bear the same last name just by accident. We're happy to be here. Lior is a leading musician in Israel, primarily focuses on music for theater. And he's been doing that for how long, Lior?
It's about 12 years, I think.
12
Uh,
years.
yes, because if you count from the end of my army service, which is when I started working in music for theater, it's already 12 years. Yeah.
You're getting old. And I can speak to him like that
Tell
because
me about it.
he's my brother and he's my baby brother. So I am allowed to talk to him like that, but he'll talk back. I have a lot of experience.
I will, don't worry.
So Lior, I'm really excited to have you as the first broadcast of English Thursday for Sensemakers. And I'm excited because I think you have a unique perspective on the world through the lens of the arts and music and theater. We've obviously talked before this conversation about what we want to share. But before anything else, I would love for you to share with the people who are here with us, maybe what was one of the most significant peaks in your career, maybe something that you feel deeply proud of.
Significant peak. I I had the fortune to have many significant peaks, and I really hope I have still more to come. But one I remember the most, it's involving a very exciting uh, period of my life, which was my 30th birthday. On my 30th birthday, I was playing the keyboard part in Les Miserables, musical in Habima, which is the Israel National Theater, and I played there for like a year and a half, and I always wanted to conduct the orchestra. We had a 15-piece orchestra and a big cast, but I never dared to ask for it or anything. But on my birthday, I really remember it was my celebration, and I got a text message from the musical director saying, "I'm sick. You're gonna replace me tomorrow." He didn't ask; he just announced me. You're gonna replace me. I'm sure you'll be great. Bye. Oh, and
Wow.
by the way, you're gonna replace me, but there's no one who can replace you playing the keyboard. So you have to do both things. You know, to play the piano and to conduct the orchestra
At the same
uh,
time.
yeah, and the keyboard part is very very demanding. You have to play all through the piece. You don't have any spare arms, so you can conduct. So it was. I was thrilled, but also a bit
Terrified,
anxious.
I bet.
Yeah. um, but I knew the piece so well, so I managed to do it. And it was a very very big success.
Wait, so
Uh,
so describe this to me. You're walking that day into the where was it? Is there a pit in the theater?
yeah, we have an orchestra room.
Okay.
We don't have a pit, so
So you walk into
it's
the orchestra
two.
room and
Yeah,
you're supposed to be conducting the orchestra that day, but also playing the keyboard.
yeah.
Where do you go next? Or did you do everything from the keyboard?
I think it looked a little like before this broadcast panic, which is
Panic.
because suddenly nothing works. You know, we have to take the keyboards and place it in the other side of the room and connect everything, and of course it doesn't work and we have to connect it again, and we have to try, and so and up until the show starts, it was just you know, errands. Um, but but I had a pretty good idea of what I'm supposed to do. I understood I need to play, and what I can add, I will do it with my head, with my lips. I don't know. It was very very nerving. I
So you know what I'm
remember.
going to ask for right now? I'm going to ask for a demonstration. What
Oh, but I don't
it
remember how to do it anymore. No, it was a long time
we
ago.
want to see, and I invite everyone in the audience who's listening to us right now. You're invited to sing along with Lior when he tries to conduct you as the singer.
So I think the show starts with like this. You can hear me from here.
Yes,
Can
yes,
you hear
yes.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, great. And it's bum 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 bum. And now I have to cue the orchestra. So I have a spare hand. No, I don't. I need to play with it. And
Look down. Oh, modulation.
yeah, one, two, three, and the cast.
Look down.
Look
Look
down,
down.
don't look him in the eyes. Look
Look
down. We
down.
have a bit of delay here. And I
That's
did what I
crazy.
thought. Yeah, yeah, it was crazy because it's a musical with a lot of fermatas, with places you need to stop the orchestra and to work with the stage and and every evening it's a different thing. It's a
So
different
wait,
show.
just technically, so you're in this orchestra room conducting over the 15-piece orchestra, but you also need to
Yeah.
maintain communication with the cast on stage,
Yeah,
right?
we have yeah, and it's a different room. It's a different floor of the building actually, and it's all connected via video. You know,
It's so funny.
via.
So in the past few weeks, since the Corona, the COVID-19 event is happening, the entire world is rushing to learn how
Event.
to event,
It's
crisis,
an event.
new normal, whatever it is. The entire world is rushing to learn how to work remotely. But you're saying that in theater, that has been done for a while. So the conductor may very well be sitting in a different room and
We
conducting.
always talked about it. If you can manage the audio delay, the one that we had troubles with right now, I think probably the orchestra could sit. Each player can sit at home and play from his home apartment and just sit in front of the mic and play. But still, the audio delay is terrible. I've been trying at the past few weeks to teach ensemble singing, chorus singing in an acting school I teach, Yoram Levinstein, and it was it wasn't easy because you can teach the parts, you can play them what they need to play, like la 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 la, and then they can repeat it. But once they need to sing together,
You can't do that.
no, they're all on mute on Zoom, and I'm doing like this, la la. You're great, you're wonderful. In my head, I can hear you. You're amazing.
So it's all about giving feedback, even if you hear nothing. Great, great.
It's about imagination.
Yeah. So if I think back, I think you have a long and really interesting relationship with Les Miserables, right? So I think you were also the musical director of that play at a theater school a few years before this event.
Yeah, me and Les Miserables, it's a
We
long
go a long way
story.
back.
We go a long way back. Um, Maybe we can start. Um, uh, the first production in Israel was the year I was born. It was a very big, famous production. But 12 years after that, there was the second production in Israel. I was 12, and I had the opportunity to participate in the part of Gavroche, which is the kid. Um, and I it was a amazing experience. I think it's the first professional theater experience I had.
So you were on
Uh,
stage in
yeah, I
an
was
acting
on
position.
stage
Yeah, you were playing.
singing, acting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Might I add that you were Brilliant. You were incredible. Maybe because I was the proud brother, but you were incredible.
Thank you. I think you're a bit exaggerating, but still, thank you.
That might very well be the truth.
I was very cute. I was very cute.
Okay.
It helped me.
And then a few years
Um,
later,
a few years later, when I was about 25, I think, I was fortunate enough to be the musical director of a school production of an acting school production of Les Miserables, where I met my wife, mind you. She was there. She was how do you call it? Second year,
second year
sophomore,
student. Yeah.
student, second year student, whatever. And we met there. I was very polite. I waited until the production was over and
Of
only
course, you never want to get
then.
sued for harassment. That's wise.
That's a different story about the head of the school who took me one day and told me, I need to talk to you. It's not illegal, but if she wants to sue you, you're gonna lose. And I told
Wow.
her that only after we were married.
That's wise.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
wise.
want to mess with it.
I actually just remembered another piece of information about that musical in our family, in that this was the very first CD that our father brought home.
True.
So
It's
Les
true.
Mis was the first CD that we had. That, along with, do you know what the other one was?
I think it was the Phantom of the Opera.
Nope.
No,
That was later. Bruce Springsteen.
later.
a
Bruce
three,
Springsteen,
a three-piece Bruce
the boss.
Springsteen. The boss. Perfect. So, but you don't only conduct music, you also compose music for theater, right?
Yeah, my field is very wide because um I I always say that my language is music, but my world is the theater. I live in the theater world. I try to do whatever I can in music for theater. It started as a player in shows, and then I started arranging and musical management and composing music. I do whatever I anybody wants me to do, um, involving theater and music. It can be it varies so much from one project to another. Sometimes I need to work with actors that can't sing, and I have to make them sing. Sometimes they need to play an instrument. Sometimes I have a full score ready made sent to me, and I just have to make it happen. Sometimes I don't have anything. I get text and I need to write a soundtrack. Sometimes I need to compose songs for a show. And every show, it's a different story. Every director is a different story. Every playwright is a different story. It's a very, very versatile profession, although it stays almost all the time in the theater doors.
Mm-hmm. So, for those of us who are not from the musical field, can you tell us what is the difference between composing and arranging music for a show?
Um,
So, start with the definition. What is the actual difference between these two
yeah,
things?
sure. Um, Composing music is creating music where there was never any material before you.
Mhm.
You go to a blank page and you start writing whatever is on your mind. We can talk a lot about what is composition because I always say that composing is recomposing because it's the page was never empty. Um, you always lean on things you learned, you heard before, because you always want to be you want you want to be communicative with your audience, but still nobody tells you what you have before you bring the material, the musical material, and when you're an arranger, you have a song or a piece of music or anything you take from existing materials and you have to adapt them to stage, to choose everything. It starts with the key and the harmony, and you choose the instrumentation, which instruments are gonna play. A lot of the times you find yourself composing when
Mm.
you're arranging because you use existing materials, but you add to them your own compositions. So maybe the two aren't so different from one another.
So, do you think you could possibly maybe play us anything that you've composed from a show or something that is original or a song, anything that is yours? We would love to hear something.
I'm gonna play your music, please, because I have it on my computer. Uh, from visiting Mr. Green in Beit Lessin Theater. I just gonna have to find it. It's a show I loved very, very much.
So,
Mr. Green.
what is the show about,
It's
or the
about
scene that you want to play us?
encounters. It's about encounters of a young lawyer. I think he's a lawyer, and
I just
very
do the
old.
music here.
No, I forgot. His profession is not that important, and very old, lonely Jewish man. And throughout the show, you discover that the young man hit him, and the judge said he must visit the old man he hit crash.
Car
What's the name?
accident.
Car accident. Thank you. I lost it. So the judge decided he must visit the old man he bumped into,
Mhm.
and throughout the show you discover that the young man is gay and he's Jewish also, and they learn a lot from each other. It's very moving two man show.
Mhm.
Uh, mm, 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 mm. Okay, I found some of music. So I had the Jewish theme, so I knew I want to use Jewish instruments like a violin or a clarinet, which is my instrument. I play the clarinet, but I also knew I didn't want it to be Jewish music. No, no, no. So listen, I took it to
Before
somewhere.
you play that,
Yeah.
just to tell everyone that's with us, if you have any questions that you would like to ask Lior, please type them in the Q&A box, and I promise to ask the questions on your behalf. Okay, let's
I
hear it.
really hope it's gonna work. I really hope it's gonna work. No, I'll do it like this. I'll do share screen.
Mhm.
1 minute.
1 minute
So
is a long time.
no, it's not gonna take a whole minute. Um, so this is the first tune of the show. Here.
It's really loud. Can you make it a bit softer?
Sure. Is it okay?
So make it softer and then tell us what is going on stage when this is playing. Do you remember?
I remember everything. Yeah. This is the cue we didn't use. I used it. No, it was the first. I wanted it to be the beginning, and then I the director Nathan Datno told me, I want it to be a little more warm, and to tell this is like I met a winter evening or something a bit mysterious, I think, in the music. But he told me, no, I want something to open the crowd's heart.
Mm.
So maybe I'm gonna find the new
The heart
cue,
opening cue.
the heart opening cue, which I use the clarinet for that. Um, I'm sure I'm gonna find it. I'm sure. It's not this one, right? It's the same. Yeah, it's the same.
That's the same. Although I'm feeling my heart open pretty widely.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
You're a very kind brother. Going
That's what
to.
all my brothers tell me.
Oh, I think I found it. This is the one. Major clarinet.
And that is you playing?
Yeah. It's much softer. There's a very clear melody, and the clarinet is very distinctive, but still not Jewish at all.
No, it's not. And what's interesting is if I can describe what happened to me when I listened to it, I felt that I was pulled in. So it's suddenly like I became part of it. And with the first version that you shared, I was an outside observer. So there was
Yeah,
something about it that pulled me in.
I
Interesting.
think on the first piece of music you hear a big question mark. What's gonna happen? I don't know.
So more
Mm,
mysterious.
yeah, a bit, and maybe closed. And here you can hear something really a nice melody that opens your heart. I hope so.
Hmm.
It
Well,
did
it
to me.
it worked on me. So one of our
Yeah.
participants, one of our audience members, is asking, "Where did you write music for Witch Hunt?" He actually acted in it at Nissan Nativ
Wow.
years ago, but he's interested in where you did that. I think he saw that in your bio, or
It's a good question because I wrote it for a show in Nisanativ. I really want to put some music from there. No, it's a really nice cue. It's the Crucible, which is the Arthur Miller show. It's about the town of Salem. You all know the story about the witches that were hunted there. And it's a story about a young teenager in love with a married man, that and she starts inventing, she and her friends inventing that there are witches, and she's hunted, and blah 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 blah, and makes a big fuss. And the actual story was
and
about the
she made that up.
McCarthyism.
That was a made-up
Yeah, she
story.
made it. Yeah, and everything is about it's an allegory,
Mhm,
allegoria, yeah,
mhm.
about the McCarthyism period in the when artists were hunt down because they were suspected to be communists,
We're going to
and
talk
so
about the
this was.
hunting down of artists in just a little bit.
But I have to put just this tune. Um, I'm gonna find it because the thing I decided is to use a human voice of a singer that wasn't there. She wasn't on stage. It was a pre-recorded vocal, and I wanted to use the vocal because I it was the girl and the screaming and the witch, and I needed something very human
Mm.
uh, to be in the score. So
So
I'm gonna.
as you search for
Yeah,
it, I'll
thank you.
say that I'm noticing that so anytime I ask a question about a play, you're able to not just describe what is happening on stage, but I hear you talking about the 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 events behind the events. I hear you talking about the emotions behind the emotions, and I also hear you talking about what you want to create in terms of the sense for the audience, what kind of experience you would like them to have. Um,
You know that the music in theater has many parts. Um,
don't stop searching.
no, I found it.
Okay.
The main part is atmosphere, is making you feel something,
Hmm.
but it can also create time, and can create a place, and it can stand for a character that isn't there, or that is there, or tell a different story from what the character is experiencing right now. It can be a very harsh monologue of an actor, which it's driving nuts, and the music can be something like go against his to tell a different story from what's happening on stage and create like a counterpoint, create a new thing from the discussion between the music and the actors. I found it. I
Let's hear
actually
it.
did.
Let's hear it.
Sorry. Very dramatic. 8 years ago. On stage there was
Wasn't this from the Seagull?
about the same period, but now it goes a little crazier.
Thanks for the fade out. Very dramatic.
Always fade out, never cut.
Never cut. Very dramatic.
Yeah,
and you're
it is.
saying that
It
there was no
dramatic
actress. Was there an actress on stage when this was?
Yeah, two actors. The one that played Abigail and the one that played John Proctor, and it was like a movement, like dance routine. Thank you, Shmulik. Thank you very much.
So Shmulik is saying that this was beautiful, and he's right. It is beautiful. So I want to fast forward a bit to these days, if I may. So
No, I would really prefer to talk about my my works and music.
maybe we can come back to that, but you're not
Just
kidding.
kidding.
So you're not kidding at all, because when we were preparing for this session, I was sharing with Lior what I'm hoping to accomplish here. And what I was hoping is to help people have a glimpse into the lives of musicians and artists during these insane times that are happening. And then Lior, using different views of his room, said, but Eyal, what I think would be cool is if I can talk about my work, if I can talk about my experience, because people don't know what it's like to conduct an orchestra or to create music for a theater show, a theater production. And I agreed. I said, that's true. At the same time, I still want to talk, and I think, Lior, in our conversations, you have a very unique perspective about music, about theater. Before we talk about these days, can you share with us, please, your view of what is the role of theater or music or the arts in our lives? In what ways is it important?
It's a very very big question, but I'm gonna try and say that as a good son of my father, I think the most important thing about art is the experience, and the most important, even I can even say that if there's no experience, if the crowd doesn't, the audience doesn't feel anything, there's no art. It's not art. It's something else. It's maybe you can say it's a bad experiment, but
So wait, so when you're saying an experience, you mean feeling an emotion?
feeling an emotion which can be varied from compassion, love, disgust, angry, anything. It can be anything, but if there's no reaction, there's no art. It's nothing. It's the most important thing about art, and artists throughout the history have played with this idea of seeing what they can do to make a crowd respond.
So
The
forgive my
simplest
question.
example is Duchamp putting a mashtena,
Urinal.
urinal inside of in the center of the museum, to make people react. How they react to a urinal in the most sacred artistic place,
Temple. Yeah. Hmm.
temple. Yeah. So this is one very important part of culture and art, and the second I think is asking questions, asking to make people ask questions about their own lives, about themselves. Um, I I I I'm gonna add one more thing. I think, and this is only my point of view. I think art and culture should make people feel good, feel happy, feel good about themselves, have a nice time, and see the good about life. I try to do it with with everything I do. I think music is an amazing art form because it it connects to the deepest side of you, with no boundaries of language, with no boundaries of place in the world, with no boundaries at all.
So
Um,
when I think of art and music and theater, and I've been living in this world as an observer, but as a child observer, with with our father being a theater director and our mother being an actress, and you playing music and conducting and creating music all these years, I've obviously spent a long time in theater halls. Um, so for me, what happens with music and theater is a type of connection. So it's a connection to self, to myself. And maybe that's the experience that you're talking about. It can be through an emotion, it can be through any kind of emotion, but there's also a connection that I feel to others in the world through
I
their,
very much agree. Yeah,
yeah, so through their stories, through their experiences. Uh, I suddenly can understand things that I wouldn't be able to understand without having gone to that show. Um, so for me, it's also a matter of connection. I just wanted to add my perspective.
connection is an amazing thing.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So if the role of art and music and theater is to help us ask questions, and you're saying, do you have any specific questions or examples of questions?
No, it can be anything. It can be anything. Why am I alive? Why?
Do you remember a question that came up for you as audience or as a creator in a show?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I think a lot of times when I watch good theater, I I ask myself, what can theater do to people?
Hmm.
Can it make them do things, change their lives, or how much art stays inside the the walls of the theater or the museum or the concert hall, and when you go home you just stop thinking about it. I've been asking myself that a lot as a creator and as a audience member.
Mm.
I
So
don't
the
have
impact, a
much
question of the
questions.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How much does art really impacts our life? Makes us get up in the morning and do things differently. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have good answers,
but
but I
that's
think
the
asking
thing.
these questions is enough.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. So in a time of crisis, like this COVID-19 crisis, which has really impacted everyone's lives around the world, um, do you think there is a special role or a unique role for art during this time? And maybe it's not important right now.
Uh, I think art is always important, and it has always proven us that it can't disappear. Um, but there's a problem. There's a problem that in every other crisis, uh, I think about war or a financial crisis. any kind of different crisis that's not this one, the art thrills. People just
Thrives. Yeah.
thrives. Yeah.
Hmm.
People, the artists go up front. They go to perform to soldiers. They go to perform wherever they can, on the street, wherever. But now you can't make a crowd. There's the one thing that is obligatory, and I'm not talking about music because music is a little different, but let's talk about live music and live theater and everything that connects people together. As you said, it's disappeared. You can't do it anymore, and this is a very weird thing to me, because I want to do things, you know. I want to help people. I want to go and play to the medical staff. I want to arrange shows. I want to do anything I can, but I can't. And this is the weirdest thing I think about this time of the COVID-19. So so everybody did like a video clip of people on Zoom in boxes. I was fortunate enough to be one of the first to do it in Israel with the Habima actors, but still it was nice. It opened my mind to music production from iPhones. It's nice, but it's not the real thing, I think. And
Actually, can you show us for a second a bit of that video
Sure.
that was
I
done?
would love
I'm sure.
to.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be easy for you to find.
Yeah.
But the distinction that you're drawing between other crises in the past and this one, and the inability to congregate, the inability to create a crowd, or when it's in front of art, an audience, that's a
Sorry.
difference.
Yeah.
Is that an ad?
No. It's Leah
That's-
Hennig.
Okay. So go ahead, show us. But do
So I
share
need
the screen as well for the video.
Yeah. Is it okay if I do this? No.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had it.
you had it,
I
right?
saw a cat. Yes.
So I'm here.
Screen and screen. Yes.
Screen. Yeah. Let's do it.
זה שיר עידוד לכל מי שנמצא בבידוד.
So this is an encouraging song for anyone who's in isolation.
כרגע שתי אפשרויות להתמרמר, להישבר, להיגמר או לחיות.
יש הרי דברים שלא בשליטתך,
יש דברים יותר גדולים ממני וממך. זה שילוב לכל מי שמתחרפן בבידוד.
Can you stop this for a second?
Sure.
So people don't see the clip. I'm saying
No way.
they only see me. So they've seen me enjoy it.
Oh, they need to drop the speaker's view and go to the gallery view, and it was never mind. I'll put it better.
So we will send it actually
From that spot. Here. I want them to see the amazing.
So go full screen because they haven't seen it. Or
Yeah, sure. Here. I think that's the way. No, it's not. This is the way. And share computer sound. It's important. Now you can see it.
I saw it on the top of the.
But it's so. Answer us, please.
Yes.
Anybody? Yes.
אולי תסתתר בתוך כל זה סיפור,
אולי יקום מעביר אותך שיעור.
שולח לנו מסר חבוי ומומס, להוריד
והיא אחרי שהתרחקת.
מביט בסדרה שאף פעם לא הספקת.
לדפוק מגן של פיצה, לקרוא כמה ספרים.
להיות עם עצמך, לכתוב על זה שירים.
להתקשר ולדבר יותר משתי דקות עם אמא.
לחיות פחות החוצה וטיפה יותר פנימה.
זה שירים לעולמי שמתחרפן בליכוד. זה שירים לכל מי שנמצא במצב רוח יד. לכל מי שנמצא במצב רוח. לכל מי שמרגיש שהעולם הזה אמור. זה שירים לכל מי שמתחרפן בליכוד. גם אם נשארנו פתאום קצת לבד,
גם אם המסך מזמן כבר ירד.
אם האור מהבהב, הייאוש לא עוזר, הדלתות נסגרות והראש מסתובב. גם אם אחד ידע, העיתון כבר נסע,
העולם מתרוקן.
ואין עוד קהל.
גם אם בנחמה וסובלת בנשמה.
אנחנו לא יורדים מהבמה.
אנחנו לא יורדים מהבמה. זה שירים לכל מי שמתחרפן בליכוד. לכל מי שנמצא במצב רוח ירוד. לכל מי שמרגיש שהעולם הזה אמור. זה שירים לכל מי שמתחרפן בליכוד.
גוספל.
Super cool. Super cool. Super
Thank you. The שירים דוד.
good. So, what was your role in this song?
I didn't do anything. No, it's just kidding. Rami Kleinstein and Noam Chorev. Noam Chorev wrote the lyrics, and Rami Kleinstein composed the song. And he sent me like a sketch of the song of him singing with the piano, and everything from that part till what you see. I didn't edit the clip, obviously, but to what you hear is me. I chose a different key for the song. I set a different groove, you know, that was never there. I decided which instruments are going to play. I talked to the players and sent them charts so they can send me back from their home playing. And I recorded a guide for the singers so they can know what they need to sing. I did a various amount of changes, and then everybody sent to me, you know, from their iPhones. I made
So
them
this was all recorded
sing.
on an
I made
iPhone.
I made them sing from their closets. I sent them a video of me showing them. You need to hear the music from one phone on your headphones, and open this closet window, this closet door, and sing to a different iPhone. And they all did it. It was amazing.
So I think you may be the
Then to
very
all the
first.
actors, it's the first time you need to go inside the closet. Yeah, you were there.
Obviously, especially, yeah.
The
yeah.
only time you need to go inside the closet. Some of them were never there, you know, for years.
But I want to come back to what you said before. You said, so everyone has been doing these Zoom-like videos, and these are cute
Became
and
very, very
everything.
trendy.
Say that again, sorry?
It became very trendy.
Yeah.
Because that's what you can do, you know.
But you're also saying that this is not the real thing.
No, and I hear people talking about different solutions, you know, just for this period of time. Drive-in theater.
A drive-in theater?
Drive-in theater, yeah, that people can come with their cars. I don't know, get a speaker or anything, and watch a whole show from their cars. But But it's nice ideas, but I don't think anything is gonna replace live shows, because people want to go out and see other people and connect to other people, and nothing beats this experience. And theater was here thousands of years before us, and it's gonna stay. I hope so. No, I believe that.
Yeah. So, are you? So, what do people like you, forgive the generalization, but people in your profession and others around you, what do you do all day long?
Oh, it's easy. I go to the demonstration tonight. No, I'm a kindergarten teacher right now because I have a
At
one and a
home with
half
your
year old
daughter.
girl. Yeah, and so we have many different activities, uh, and sometimes I just sit next to her when she watches television. I won't lie. Sometimes I'm just on my phone. No, but really, I spend a lot of time with her at home, and I was never this much time at home. My days were so packed, and the this plague came on the most stressing time of the year. Everything happened. It was a week when I had a show, the last technical rehearsals on a show at the Khan Theater in Jerusalem, and it was 2 weeks before a very very big concert in the Tel Aviv Opera House of Tziporela Theater Group and a big orchestra that's called the Revolution Orchestra. And I started rehearsals for a musical play, and usually musical plays they need the musical director when they start rehearsing. You need to first teach the musical material, and I was teaching 3 days a week. I don't know how did I think I can do it, but suddenly it all stopped. And it
Wow.
was one after the other. They stopped the rehearsals for the Habima show, and then after 2 days of on stage at the Khan Theater in Jerusalem, they said, "Oh, we can't proceed, no." And then I said, "Oh, so at least I still teach, so it's fine." No, it all got canceled, and I'm not talking about the royalties I was expected to get from children's plays, which is March and April are the most busy months of the year, and everything immediately stopped.
So,
So I try to be optimistic as I can and
but
saying to
wait,
myself,
let me ask this. This is important. So you're saying that everything came to a complete stop, and obviously this is not just for you; it's for this entire industry,
for
much
everyone.
like other industries, right? So much like the airline industry and travel and events, and so we know that there are a
Yeah,
few industries that were very severely hit by this pandemic.
the
Um,
first to close and the last to open. Yeah.
Probably, and in this situation, I think a lot of the artists are independent workers, right? So they're not part of. They don't have a paycheck that normally comes in regularly. Is that so? There's a lot of that.
Most of them, players in big orchestras are hired, but and some of the actors, not all of them. But I'm a freelance musician, and all my friends are. We go from show to show. No one ever suggested to hire me as an employee.
It
It's
just doesn't
weird.
work that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work that way.
So that puts you in a strange position, even in terms of support from the country, right? So the country is there a lot of support for artists?
Um, I think we're here 2 months after the plague started. No, about almost 2 months, right? I got 500 shekels from the Israeli government.
So about $125.
$125. Yeah. And that's because I have a kid, a child, and that's it. They talked about a grant, manak,
Grant?
grant independent workers, for freelancers. And no, I didn't. I wasn't in their criterias. I don't know why. I did get a paycheck from Habima for a short period of time, so I tried to get from the Social Security,
Claim Social Security, unemployment.
Unemployment. And no, they didn't get back.
They
to
denied
me.
that. Mm-hmm.
No, they didn't.
They
say
didn't even
anything.
deny it.
Still, yeah, we're still working on it. I don't know anything, and I'm very, very stressed. I'm losing air,
Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm asking is obviously not just to point to your situation, but to the fact that if a country, any country, believes that art and culture are important, then it needs to stand behind its artists and those that create the culture, because it doesn't just happen. And it's especially in a time like this that we need to prove that we really care about it as a country, as a world. And I do know, so I had conversations with people in other countries. I have definitely seen that in other places, it looks very different.
I have friends in Berlin, in New York, and it's very, very different in England. The first thing they do is tell you, don't worry, leave your financial worries behind. We're gonna take care of you. And here I just read just now, the government we think that sportaim, no? Athletes and artists should consider a different kind of work. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I certainly hope that that things will change soon, and I know that today in the paper I read that they are considering reopening theaters, at least for smaller productions.
Send me this article, please.
I will. But I did see that for up to 300 audience members, they're considering
300
reopening.
is the most I ever heard. I heard about 200. 300 is something you can work with. Not Mamma Mia, but
which is exactly where I wanted to lead this conversation. So you're also the musical director of Mamma Mia in Israel. Since I don't. Here I go again. My, how can I resist?
my. But I think it's much more relevant to sing this song.
That's okay. Yes.
The first webinar sing-along.
Probably not the first. Everything was done during these days.
Karaoke seminar.
Right. But I did want to end here and with a slightly more optimistic tone, hope that things will get back to the new normal and that you will not have to change careers. And tell you that it's been a true honor for me to host you on this event, on this webinar. And if anyone has,
I was so afraid about speaking English because it's not my native tongue. I didn't have the opportunity to be born in the U.S. as you did, but it felt very comfortable speaking to you, being here with you, helping me with the words I didn't know.
Like urinal.
Urinal. What did we have? Urinal and athletes.
Right. I think we actually watched.
Drug detection.
Didn't we watch You're in Town together? I think we watched it together.
No, I was. No.
No, it was with my.
I didn't
with
see
our
it.
father. Okay.
Yeah.
Lior, thank you very much. This was
Thank you so
incredible and
much.
enlightening, and I'm seeing a lot of really great reactions from everyone who's here.
Don't believe the lies. Everybody
Uh,
lies.
Everybody lies. Thank you, everyone. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye bye. See you in the theater.
Bye bye. Hope so.